Welcome back to the Technology Risk Podcast.
Today, we're jumping right into a huge vulnerability, one that's quietly undermining security for a lot of businesses.
Yeah, especially for those of you running regulated SMBs, we're talking about AI.
Exactly. The speed of AI adoption is it's exploded.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is using large language models, AI assistants, but the security has not kept pace at all.
Not even close. And that gap, that space between the excitement and the actual governance, that's creating brand new, often wide open doors for attackers.
And this isn't just a feeling we have. There are hard numbers. Analysts pointed out that 92% of companies adopted at least one LLM tool in 2025.
92%. That's basically universal adoption.
It is. But here's the other side of that number, and this is the one that should really worry you. Of those companies, only 18% have implemented any formal AI security controls.
18, so 92% are using it, but only 18% are protecting it. That's not a gap, that's a canyon.
And it's where the attackers are feasting right now.
So our goal today is to really break this down for you. We're going to talk about the exact attack vectors that turn that shiny new AI tool into a major risk.
We'll also explain why a lack of governance is the real failure here, and then give you a practical checklist. Essential guardrails you need to put in place, like yesterday.
And if you're handling sensitive data, financial, medical, manufacturing, this conversation is absolutely critical.
It really is.
Before we jump in, please make sure you subscribe to the Technology Risk Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, wherever you listen, so you never miss these insights.
All right, so the invisible attack surface. Let's start there.
Yeah, what's the fundamental shift we're seeing?
Well, traditionally, security was about the perimeter. Firewalls, network rules. But AI systems, they often live outside that.
They're integrated directly, right, through APIs.
Exactly. So they can be manipulated, they can be poisoned, hijacked, just like any other app, but they're already on the inside. They often have trusted access.
And for an SMB, you don't have a massive security team to watch this stuff, so a simple misconfiguration, that could become a disaster, fast.
And the consequences are terrifying. For regulated businesses, we're talking data exposure, huge regulatory fines.
Or worse, in some cases.
Oh, yeah. In industrial settings, you're looking at operational control failures. The AI makes a mistake. The whole assembly line goes down.
Okay, so let's get specific. What's the first big attack vector? You mentioned prompt injection.
Yes. This is the key one right now. This is hacking through the AI, not just hacking the application it lives in.
What does that mean, hacking through it?
It's actually kind of brilliant in its simplicity. An attacker hides a malicious instruction, like a hidden command, inside a normal file.
So in a document, the AI is supposed to be reading anyway, like a customer email or a PDF.
Exactly. A PDF, an image caption, a chat message. The AI assistant, doing its job, reads the content, but it also sees that hidden command.
And it just executes it without anyone knowing.
It just executes it. Because the AI model is designed to follow the most compelling instruction, and these malicious prompts are written to override everything else.
But wait, how can you possibly defend against that? If the AI is supposed to read the file, isn't it a needle in a haystack?
That's the challenge. And it's not theoretical. The Secure LM Consortium reported a 550% increase in these kinds of attacks between 2024 and 2025.
550%. Wow, okay, that number alone should make people stop and think.
It's the attack vector of the moment.
And that leads right into the second failure, which is less of a clever hack and more of a basic mistake. LLMs with way too much access.
A classic IT error, just in a new context. Everyone wants their AI to be a super assistant, right?
Right, connected to everything.
So they give it admin-level access, unrestricted permissions to read every document, talk to every API, see every configuration file. They trust it because it's internal.
And you had that really powerful example of the manufacturer where this went wrong. It wasn't even a data breach.
No, and that's what's so important. The AI agent had admin access to their control systems. A user gave it a slightly ambiguous prompt. The AI misinterpreted it as an automation request, and because it had the permissions, it deleted a critical batch control configuration file.
So the whole operation just shut down.
Instantly. It's not just about malice. It's about giving a powerful, sometimes unpredictable tool the keys to the kingdom. A simple misinterpretation can be devastating.
This is the ultimate insider threat, but it's a robot that means well. Okay, let's move to something a bit more insidious. Model poisoning.
This one is a long game. With model poisoning, attackers aren't trying to break in today. They are subtly feeding the AI bad data.
Bad data during its training or its fine-tuning.
Both. The goal is to slowly, over time, change its future outputs,
Sure.
to corrupt its brain, so to speak.
So the AI starts learning the wrong lessons. Maybe it starts creating biased pricing models, or it writes maintenance instructions that will cause machine to fail months from now.
Exactly. And you can't trace it back to a single event. The model itself has just been compromised.
That's scary. And the threat just gets bigger when you add in Vector 4, all the plugins and integrations.
Every single plugin, every API connector you bolt onto your AI to make it more useful, it also exponentially increases your attack surface.
And it's not just about the number of connections, is it?
No. The real kicker is that many of these connectors completely bypass your traditional security, your IAM.
Your identity and access management.
Right. They operate on their own tokens, their own keys. They create a stealthy back road straight to your most valuable data.
So let's tie this all together. For the listener, what's the so what? How do these technical risks become, real-world business disasters?
Well, the most direct one is compliance exposure. A tricked AI could easily summarize and leak HIPAA-protected health information, or OSHA logs, or supplier contracts.
And boom, you're facing massive regulatory fines. The AI basically automates the data breach for the attacker.
And in industrial settings, it's even more physical. We're seeing AI co-pilots connected to SCADA and OT systems.
The systems controlling the actual machinery.
Yeah, an attacker could use prompt injection to trick an AI that's reading temperature logs. It might recommend an unsafe machine setting. The digital attack causes physical damage. Or worse.
There's also a huge irony here with data theft, right? LLMs are great at organizing all your messy data into something useful.
They're incredible at it. They create this perfectly curated, queryable database of your company's knowledge.
But if an attacker gets control of that LLM,
They don't have to hunt for your secrets anymore. The AI has already gathered them all into a curated treasure chest. It makes their job 100 times easier.
so why is this all happening so fast? It feels like it comes down to people just moving too quickly.
That's the main driver. It's adoption without vetting. IBM found that 71% of organizations admitted they deploy AI apps without a proper cybersecurity review.
71%, they just turn it on.
Turn it on. The efficiency gains are immediate, so security becomes an afterthought, if it's thought of at all.
And that brings us to shadow AI. We've all heard of shadow IT, but this sounds even riskier.
It is, because employees are signing up for these third-party AI tools on their own, often with a credit card, and then immediately uploading proprietary data.
Customer lists, source code, financial plans.
All of it, into these unknown, unmonitored cloud platforms that the business has zero control over. The potential blast radius from one of those tools being compromised is just immense.
Okay, that is a very clear and, frankly, alarming picture. So let's pivot. We've defined the problem. What's the solution? What are the non-negotiable guardrails?
Right, let's get practical. Guardrail number one is just basic asset management. Inventory and treat AI as high risk.
Know what you have, in other words.
You have to. You have to inventory every single AI tool being used, track what data it touches, and restrict its permissions from day one. Assume it's a threat until you can prove it's safe.
Okay, that makes sense. Then you've got guardrail 2. Implement least privilege. How is that different for an AI versus a person?
It's the same principle, but applied to data and function. If your AI is just supposed to summarize meeting notes, it should have zero access to your financial systems.
Right.
You have to wall it off. Segment its function so it only has the absolute minimum access it needs to do its one specific job.
And since prompt injection is such a huge threat, you need to be able to see what's happening.
Which is guardrail 3. Add monitoring. You need total visibility. Log every prompt, every response, and have a system that's actively looking for weird behavior.
Like what's an example of weird behavior?
An AI suddenly trying to access thousands of files at once, or trying to query a system it's never touched before. Those are massive red flags.
So to stop prompt injection itself, what are the technical options?
That's guardrail 4. Block prompt injection vectors. The simple version is sanitizing all your inputs, stripping out known malicious code before the AI ever sees it.
And the more advanced version?
Using dedicated guardrail layers. Think of them as AI firewalls that sit in front of the LLM and filter out any instruction that looks like it's trying to hijack the system.
With employees rushing to use these things, policy is obviously huge.
Absolutely. Guardrail 5 is to build an internal AI governance policy. It has to be crystal clear. What data can be uploaded, what data can't, who has to approve a new tool.
And I'd imagine you need a rule about human review.
A mandate for it. Any external communication generated by AI, especially if it's financial or legal, needs a human to sign off on it. Period.
Finally, you can't just trust the vendors.
You can't. Guardrail 6. Vendor risk assessment. You have to demand formal proof from your AI vendors. Look for certifications like SOC 2 or ISO 27001.
And ask them specific questions.
Very specific questions. How do you store our data? How do you isolate it from other customers? And what are you doing on your end to prevent your model from being poisoned?
Those 6 steps really feel like the dividing line between using AI safely and just hoping for the best. Let's make it real with a couple of stories. Start with the success story. The defense manufacturer.
Right. So this was a small defense contractor. They built an AI agent for documentation. Crucially, they followed guardrails 2 and 3.
Least privilege and monitoring.
Exactly. They restricted its access to only non-sensitive documents, and they monitored everything. When someone tried a prompt injection attack through a file upload, the logs immediately flagged the unusual access attempt.
So they caught it in real time.
Caught and stopped it before anything sensitive was touched. It's a perfect lesson. Guardrails plus visibility works.
Okay, now the flip side. The healthcare provider that wasn't so careful.
This is a small provider that prioritized speed. They grabbed an unvetted third-party AI plugin for their EHR system to automate notes.
I can already see where this is going.
The plugin had a huge prompt injection vulnerability. Hackers found it, exploited it, and started leaking partial patient notes externally. A direct IPEA violation.
And their mistake was just grabbing a convenient tool without doing that vendor risk assessment.
That was it. Convenience without governance is a catastrophe waiting to happen, especially with protected health data.
So looking forward, how do we future-proof our security for this?
Well, we're already seeing the next wave of tools. I predict that AI firewalls and LLM gateways are going to become standard equipment.
And their only job is to do what, exactly?
To sit between the user and the AI and just analyze and filter everything. Sanitize the prompts going in, check the outputs coming out, and block threats before they hit the model.
So it's basically applying a zero-trust model, but directly to the AI itself.
That's precisely it.
Yeah.
You can't trust the AI just because it's on your network. You have to authenticate, segment, and verify every single action it takes. Every single time.
And you know regulation is coming.
It's inevitable. We're going to see rules similar to GDPR or IPI that are specifically for AI security and data handling.
So the smart move is to get ahead of it.
Get ahead of it. If you implement these 6 guardrails now, compliance will be so much easier when the government finally mandates it.
This has been incredibly useful. I think the core message for everyone listening is that these AI tools, they are absolutely the new entry point for hackers.
They are. And it's the excessive permissions and the complete lack of governance that are paving the road for them.
But it doesn't have to be that way.
Not at all. AI can be transformative.
Right.
It can supercharge your business or it can supercharge your attackers. The difference really is governance.
That's the perfect way to put it, the ultimate takeaway. We really encourage you to inventory your AI tools today. Start applying these principles before an attacker finds the holes for you.
Thank you for joining us on the Technology Risk Podcast.
And please remember to subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, or wherever you listen. We'll be back next time with more crucial insights.